Forestry company OneFortyOne is adding value to their forestry and timber production chain through innovation and rapid response to the needs of the domestic market. The integrated forestry plantation and processing business has a sawmill on the outskirts of Blenheim. Here, minimising waste and maximising productivity is driving all operational and business decision making.
OneFortyOne, Kaituna, we're all about adding value in processing. The business is an integrated forestry and sawmilling business in New Zealand and Australasia. We're about taking the trees off our hills and adding more than just putting them on a shipment that flows over to a foreign port. In fact, we're actually, of the trees that we cut down every day, we're about 75% of that is processed for the local economy. So if we think about the process of a tree, the tree is everything from the bark right through to the high-grade lumber. The bark is used for growing media that you often see in bagged areas within the Mitre 10 and in the Bunnings and the landscaping supplies throughout New Zealand, right up through to the high-grade dress boards that people make picture framing out of, or shelving and models, along with structural products that are used interiorly and exteriorly within New Zealand. Increasingly, we're processing a pruned log, which is then being further remanufactured into sawn lumber, which is treated, engaged, and going into the New Zealand domestic market, into the Bunnings, Mitre 10 placemakers and ITM. Other products, rough sawn high-grade lumber, are taken into some of our customers like ProWood and Genia and Southern Pine products, and further reprocessed into high-grade engineered wood products. People are increasingly looking for that circular economy. They want to know the history. They want to know that the business is well managed. We're a FSC certified. That means with Forest Stewardship Certification. That's a non-for-profit organisation that looks at the whole chain of custody right through to our customers and how we look after the life cycle of the product. If we think about continuous improvement, a lot of it is about waste minimisation and how we improve for tomorrow. And part of the learnings that we've taken from visiting sites in Japan is that we've been able to reduce our footprint on site, minimise waste, which is things like the investment in our new heat plant.
The sawmill's always looking for ways to be more energy efficient. And one of the good examples is 5 years ago we installed a new heat plant. The heat plant saved us 45% in our carbon footprint. It got rid of the old boilers and the old sawdust dryer, which used to have to dry the sawdust down to 15% moisture content before we could burn it. The new heat plant can burn green waste residues from the site, sawdust, chip, things like that. So the residues from the mill is what we burn through the heat plant. The site produces 14% of the log comes out of sawdust and 30% is chip. The heat plant's capable of burning both of those and burns between 35 and 40 tonne per day of the site's waste. Recently, the OneFortyOne board has approved a project to upgrade our old batch kilns into CDKs, continuous drying kilns. These new kilns are 30% more efficient at drying lumber. Currently, we're selling 30% of our lumber green, which is an inefficient way of transporting it to the customer. The new continuous drying kilns give us the ability to kiln dry all our lumber. This will mean that we can stop selling green wood to our customers. When we sell green wood to our customers, we only get 17 to 18 cube per truckload. Once it's kiln dried, we should be able to get between 45 and 50 cube per truckload, saving us lots of truck movements.
So Connor, how's the product going, the 9045?
Oh look,
boron treated?
It's awesome. We've had a great response from our builders. They're loving it.
Mitre 10 was seeing a lot of growth in the demand for its products. We're obviously aware that there's significant challenges in the supply of construction materials in New Zealand, and unfortunately one of the local suppliers closed. And so we were able to step in and fill the void somewhat and work on a relationship together whereby we're now supplying a full range of SG8 product, decking, 100 by 100 dress wrap post for this customer, and providing solutions to obviously the growing demand in the top of the south region. OneFortyOne is in the space of the adding value, where we are using wood fibre for biofiltration, where we're looking at wood fibre for the use of being converted into graphite for lithium-ion batteries, and composite products where wood fibre might be mixed with tomorrow's wool and creating products on farms.
Carbonscape is a deep tech company, and we are commercialising the production of a sustainable battery raw material from forestry and wood processing waste. When we think about renewable energy, when we think about decarbonisation, we think about things like electrification. We think about battery and energy storage. And the battery is a problem because number one, is expensive, and number two, it has a significant carbon footprint. There's a lot of CO2 emissions with the production of batteries. And this is where Carbonscape comes in, because we produce a low-cost, net carbon negative material, and that is highly attractive to battery manufacturers and EV manufacturers alike. The wood fibre from the Kaituna sawmill for us is an input, a feedstock, or a building block, as you will. We take that building block and we convert it into graphite, which is the battery raw material. Now, graphite's really important because it's 25%, a quarter of a lithium-ion battery. Lithium, on the other hand, is only 5%. And graphite's a big deal in the EV market. The EV market is growing considerably, and batteries are growing alongside this, and graphite at 30% per annum. And hence the commercialisation of Carbonscape technology presents a significant opportunity for the New Zealand forestry and wood processing industry to access a new and fast-growing market.